You feel that? And he looked at me with this stunned Zen Cohen, Alan Cohen look on his face like, is that even possible? That you could not take your thoughts seriously? Absolutely, we know that in this room. We are not the content of our thinking mind. Thoughts are just thoughts. They think themselves. We develop a relationship with them, and we notice when we do that kind of work with our thoughts, that our thoughts have a point at which they end before another thought begins. There is a space, a spaciousness to our thinking. We're not always thinking thoughts in a row. And we begin through meditation, through awareness practice, to begin to spend more time in the space between our thoughts, which is filled with existence, consciousness, and bliss. That's the practice that we use when we develop a relationship with our own thinking mind. Not to fight our thoughts, not to chase them away, but to open the window, let the fresh air in, and begin to breathe in and breathe out. Ah, yes, I'm more than just my thinking nature. I'm more than just these thoughts. Ah, I'm having thoughts again. Most of the time it has nothing to do with what's actually going on. What's going on is pretty darn good. Most of the time, it's what I think about what's going on that drives me crazy. How about you? Well, I wonder if they're going to be able to get to church today. The intersection's closed off. You're kidding me, and the Transcenders are coming, and we want them to have a big concert on Monday, and now they're not going to be able to get to it. You were doing this yesterday, I saw you. And I kicked it right up and went, oh my God, what a bad Sunday to have a traffic jam. We want these people to be appreciated. None of that was true. Those are my thoughts about all of that. I spent 2 hours last night thinking about that stuff, and none of it was true. Most of the things I think about never come to pass. My heaven or hell is not outside of me, it's inside of me. And I also noticed that my thoughts, not unlike yours, I know you, are like a train. There's this train that sort of waits at the station all the time. It's filled with all my thought people. And if I get on a certain train of thought, it starts to take off. It goes, come on, get on board. And I always end up going from the station of now here to the town of nowhere. From now here to nowhere. I'm on a train now, and now I'm... You know what I'm talking about. So the first time I got a real look at the nature of my thinking was from that first retreat that I went on 16 years ago, when I began to do a long meditation retreat. I've referred to that a lot because the first time you experience something, it's always the richest and the dearest. I've done many since then, longer retreats. And when you spend 3 or 4 days calming the body, the physical horse, the green horse down, and then you open up your heart and experience what you haven't felt, you then get to deal with thoughts, the thinking mind, thinking thoughts all the time. So I'm at this retreat center, the St. Anthony's, I shouldn't sit down, pretend I'm sitting down, yes? I'm at the St. Anthony's Retreat Center, and nobody's there. And I'm, again, 16 years younger than I am now. I have long, flowing blonde hair, and I'm in my lava, no shirt on. It's 82 degrees in Hawaii, and I'm sitting underneath the 12th station of the cross, where the cross is. Again, there's nobody there, and I'm sitting there like this, and I'm just breathing in and breathing out real consciously. Feeling that fresh air, not being a prisoner to my thinking. And then one of my top 10 tunes pops up and says, someone should be filming this. I look terrific. Fame, 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 fame. What's your game? Fame, fame. That's my game, the fame game. You know, where it's never good enough, I'm never good enough, what's going on now is never good enough, I always want more. And it's just this little tiny little insecure Richie from being the child of 2 middle people with a crazy alcoholic rage, all at dad, trying to get you to love me, you know? And I know those thoughts, I'm familiar with them. It's the fame game. I'll only ever be good enough for you when I can be good enough for myself. Just get to see that is huge. To be aware of that is no longer to be a prisoner to it, no longer to be a slave to that when it shows back up in my life again, no longer to be imprisoned by my own thinking nature. Thoughts will always be among you, How you deal with them is your own choice. We also have wonderful affirmations that we use in our teachers and teachings to help us hold our thinking together. One of my favorite from A Course in Miracles is, "My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world." I love that. Because my meaningless thoughts are always showing me a meaningless world. Always. It's always my meaningless thoughts showing me a meaningless world. Always, over and over again. I watch that. That's what my mind does. Another favorite is I am existence, consciousness, and bliss, which comes from Bhagwan and the Oneness Training Blessing. I am existence, consciousness, and bliss. Or a Bible quote that you love. Whatever you like to hold on with your mind is wonderful to do. It's a great teaching. It helps us stay awake. But I want to have you realize that I've realized it doesn't always and will not always deliver. This is not silver mind control. Because sometimes we hold on to those things, and then when something else shows up, we get so angry at ourselves because we're not thinking the way we want to. We end up shouting at our own minds, and the mind just says, "Keep shouting, I'm going to shout right back." Because that's what resistance does. What you resist always persists and will grow in you. So when we deal with this relationship with ourselves, we can take a deep breath and realize we're doing that, and just be awake. Thoughts are just thoughts. They think, they come, they rise, they fall. They're just thoughts. We're all in the political arena right now where it looks like this house and that house may go to some other party. And we all have great opinions about all of that. And I get to notice my thoughts about that when I drive by someone's house. I drive by someone's house who I don't know, or I'm walking by their house. And there's 2 sticks with a piece of paper on it that have a particular color on it and a name of someone. And that's not what I think is the right thing to think. And right away, my mind judges those people who are in that house. I judge their children. They probably eat junk food. They drive those big cars. I have not even met these people. What is going on? A bumper sticker in front of me. Maybe that person borrowed that car, and that isn't even their car. Do you see the thoughts that we say? This is every war that's ever thought is a battery in front of someone's house going, I believe this, well, I believe this, well, I believe that, well, God's on. And then we end up having the usual war with ourselves. Just to be conscious of that in yourself brings great freedom to you, and then you can be more freeing to others. You can help open the window and let the fresh air in when someone else is going insane. I was up on Thursday morning, and for some reason, I woke up and I was on a roll of thoughts of what isn't working, and I got on the train from now here to nowhere, and I was just blabbing at Maureen for 15 minutes about my usual train of thoughts. 39 years, she's heard this train go by. And for some reason, this particular morning, she had her window open because she does the same thing to me. And at a particular point, after I just said everything and thought every thought you could think and put words to it, she put her hand on I'm sorry about the ring. She put her hand on this metal kitchen table she had and goes, she slams her hand on like this, and it wasn't to make fun of me. It was that it's exhausting to be involved in those thoughts, is it not? It's exhausting. It's like, I can't do this anymore. And I haven't even left the house. It's delicious for my scrambled eggs and tofu. What is going on? What is the big deal? My thoughts are just driving me insane. And for some reason, in that moment, the window opened up. I got back to the horse, and Ed said, "You're going to be okay. It's all right. You're just having thoughts." And I say, "Oh, thank you, Mr. Ed. You're so sweet. Thank you for this educational moment, not to take myself quite so seriously." So let's stay. Don't let me chase you down now. You know I will. Let's take a look at our lesson. It's never going to end, is it? How will it end? Here it is. We all swim, point number 1, in a sea of uninvited repetitive thought patterns filled with past memories, future plans, expectations, judgments, and regrets. Welcome to the human club, okay? 2, however, we are much more than just these negative thought patterns. At the end of each thought, and right before the next one begins, we find the space of great love, joy, and bliss. It's there. It's always there. 3, when ancient mind, race mind consciousness is meowing outside to get in or meowing inside to get out, open the window and let those thoughts just come and go as they will. Let the fresh air, it's bigger than those presenting moments, happen. And finally, remember this song, and I hope you all sing it with me. Will you sing with me? Can you really do this for me? I know you can. I heard all of you. You know this song, so you know how it goes. We'll do it together, okay? A horse is a horse, of course, of course. But let's go right to the infinite source and find the answer, a spirit's force. Now listen to this. I am that I am. Let that set you free this week as you open the window, breathe in fresh air, and be present for your thinking nature, which then becomes no longer your enemy to conquer, but your ally to use for awakening. Blessed be. Amen. Yes. Okay.